You would think with Janet Yellen speaking for the first time today and economic data and earnings quality not that good, we'd see more volatility in the markets. Joining me all the way from Chicago is Sebastian, founder of Option Pit and now Director of Trading for Swan Wealth Management. Give us some insight here. You're our volatility expert.
I have to say, I'm shocked at the way the markets are just accepting this. We had terrible economic data last week. Then we have Yellen today basically saying, I'm not changing anything, and yet the markets are rallying on that. I think it's more due to stabilization in Japanese yen and some of the emerging markets. However, those clearly appear to be a sleeping giant. I think that the days of just expecting the VIX to go right back to 12 on these little bounces might be over, and that traders should start to look at a 14, 15, 16 VIX as a much more normal VIX. And if we look historically, the long-term normal for VIX is, 17.5 is kind of where a normal VIX is. The long-term mean is 20, but kind of, where the normal is 17.5. So we're normalizing. We went through really low vol. Now we're kind of moving back into a more normal period. And then with that, could be some fireworks.
That is the characteristic of the VIX and implied volatility in general is that mean reversion. So it makes sense from a trading perspective. Last week was interesting though because we went from 18 to 21 to 15. So the conversation was buying or selling premium. What's everyone doing? Hopefully you're on the right side of the trade because you only had a day or two to really do it. So what are you recommending for traders to look at now?
The trade I like right now is kind of Vega neutral long gamma. So one of the trades that I've been looking at is long spider straddles, long things like that, and then selling VIX call spreads to collect theta at the same time. So you've got on this kind of long gamma flat Vega trade where with more neutral theta. The problem is you can't afford to sell a bunch of premium, and you can't afford to be long it because everybody's been so afraid to own premium. As we transition into a period, these short periods of time where it really makes sense to own it, you have to step carefully, but I think that's the right approach.
Okay, thanks very much, Mark. For TheStreet in New York, I am Jill Malandrino.